No? Oh, yes. Good evening. Welcome to our concert tonight featuring all of our ensembles here at Merrill High School Choral Department. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Chase Tonar, the choir director here, and the piece you just heard is from renowned contemporary composer Z. Randall Stroop, who is heralded for one of the most profound and powerful composers of the living composers of today, as you just heard in that piece. The next piece we're going to be singing to you, still as powerful but not quite as dramatic in the sense of louds and softs and darknesses and themes. It's called Set Me as a Seal by Renee Clausen, and this has to do with love. And not necessarily always in the most intimate of senses, but in the sense of maybe compassion or the loyalty that is required to really be in love with someone or something. Forgot I want to talk about this last piece the other time because so many things going on in my brain right now. It's like, but this piece, arranged by James Erb, is the well-known melody and these wonderful lush harmonies of the Shenandoah theme, and lots of things have been formed and shaped around it. It is actually heralded as America's oldest folk tune, and the unique thing about this is that this is a small enough ensemble where it requires you to really be on top of your singing abilities, because typically at this level there's broken up into such a variance of parts, typically one or two people singing on a part, and then you'll be able to hear all this intricacies of how they flow and wrap around themselves. And then the last piece of the vocal jazz piece is an African American spiritual by Hall Johnson. Right, Hall Johnson, right? Yeah, okay. And it's just a wonderful gospel rendition, really fun, really uppity, kind of the better, if I can dub that term, the betterment of what came out of slavery and the style of music that really kind of grew because of that industry.
so busy praising my Jesus. Keep so busy praising my Jesus. Keep so busy praising my Jesus. Ain't got time. 'Cause when I'm healing to sing, I'm praising my Jesus. When I'm healing to sing, I'm praising my Jesus. When I'm healing to sing, I'm praising my Jesus. Ain't got time. 'Cause it takes all of my time. Praise my Jesus. All of my time. Praise my Lord. If I don't praise Him, the rocks gonna cry out. Glory and honor, glory and honor. Ain't got time to die. Lord, keep so busy working for the kingdom. Keep so busy working for the kingdom. Keep so busy working for the kingdom. Ain't got time to die. Beat the call. I'm working for the kingdom. Beat the call. I'm working for the kingdom. Beat the call. I'm working for the kingdom. Ain't got time to die. 'Cause it takes all of my time to praise my Jesus. All of my time to praise my Lord. If I don't praise Him, the rocks gonna cry out. Glory and honor, glory and honor. Ain't got time to die. Lord, I keep so busy serving my master. Keep so busy serving my master. Keep so busy serving my master. Ain't got time to die. 'Cause when I'm giving my all, I'm serving my master. Giving my all, I'm serving my master. When I'm giving my all, I'm serving my master. Ain't got time to die. 'Cause it takes all of my time to praise my Jesus. All of my time to praise my Lord. If I don't praise Him, the rocks gonna cry out. Glory and honor, glory and honor. Ain't got time to die. Now won't you get out of my way? Praise my Jesus out of my way. Let me praise my Lord. If I don't praise Him, the rocks gonna cry out. Glory and honor, glory and honor. Ain't got time to die.
As we do a little bit of shifting of the guard here, um, there actually has been, was it 2 weeks ago? Feels like 100, but 2 weeks ago, we had a festival here known as Solon Ensemble, and we had many students participate both in the band and choir department as solos, duets, quartets, octets, mini large group. That's an oxymoron, I know, but it actually makes sense in the music world. Mini large group ensembles, and we've had a lot of success from people, trying for their very first time to really going to excel at the state level. So most of them were in my vocal jazz group, but if you participated in solo ensemble in any capacity for my treble and concert choir, would you please stand or wave or something? Wow, tough crowd. They're really shy. Okay, well. They didn't know I was going to do that, so we're like, well, we didn't practice that, so we have no idea how we're supposed to do that. You raise your hand. No, I'm just kidding. But this is the treble choir portion of it. The first thing we'll be opening with is traditional Genoese Pacem. It's done as a wonderful choral performance and also used as vocal warm-ups. We kind of intertwine the two, and unique things that you hear is, as what we call a round. And if you hear, row, row, your boat, row, row, row your boat, row, row, row your boat, and like the 20 other groups that we do that with, that is what this kind of capitulates. It really opens up our ears and really focuses on the ability to really build the independent singer.
Glory
ago, I was like, come on, sound, get out! It was like pulling teeth at times. They've grown since much then. The next piece is really going to showcase that growth. It's a wonderful rendition called For the Beauty of the Earth by John Rutter. John Rutter is known mostly for when he composes something, he can actually render it in very different ways, where it's either 2-part choir or 3-part harmony or 4-part harmony, 8-part harmony for orchestra, for choirs, for wind bands, for polka bands. I don't know if there's a polka band arrangement, but if you find one, please let me know. That'd be really cool. But there's just one of these composers that really makes his music truly accessible from the very beginning to all forms of ensembles, whether it's, 2 people, a soloist, or a large ensemble. That is really kind of his staple in history. And the final song you'll be hearing comes from a film which is Pete's Dragon, that's Candle on the Water, and we're talking about the whole program here. It's really encouraging to know that someone, either for yourself, is that light out there, that little glimmer of hope, or even more powerfully, vice versa, when you yourself are that glimmer of hope, that reliable guiding light in the darkness to show your way to home and safety. So that will conclude our treble choir portion of this concert.
Beauty of the
getting really warm up here, so it's probably because we haven't touched 40 degrees in like 6 years, so. Entering the final stage, probably should talk and walk away from the microphone at the same time. Entering the final portion of our departmental, if you will, of this concert. This last portion is the largest ensemble here we feature at Merrill High School, which is the concert choir. This, we've definitely explored a much more dense form of repertoire. We are actually going to go from English contemporary to early 20th century Russian to, what else do we say? To African American spiritual, slavery spiritual, to, what's the last piece you say? To another contemporary Latin piece that features our wonderful accompanist, Marlene Krieger. She has been an absolute godsend for us since our... in the concert, they're named formally, and I'm not going to remember them all, but we have so many people to thank here at Merrill High School. Mr. Kevin Short, who's the band director here, has been very helpful with my transition to my first year as my mentor. Mr. Andreska, God bless his soul, because he printed our programs at 3 o'clock today because I slacked off. I'm sorry. At least I'm honest, right? Then we have, our administration, who's absolutely wonderful in supporting our role here in all the arts and all the other academic areas. And then lastly, most importantly, is you, the parents, for allowing and encouraging and maybe giving a little oomph, for your child to be in choir and whatnot. So, please give yourself a round of applause for that. We will be beginning the concert choir portion of this concert with the African American spiritual. Unlike the one you heard from Vocal Jays earlier, this one actually has to do with the really bad side of slavery, beg pardon, and really had to do with the work and toils and the living conditions of living as an African American individual or family during these really harsh times in the 19th century of America. So. As you noticed in the program, that was another piece by Z. Randall Shroop, again just showcasing his scope and scale of his knowledge and his abilities to really intertwine music. We're going to go around halfway around the world to our not-so-friendly neighbors, Russia, but this was time in the USSR. Arvo Pärt wrote this in the 1930s, late 30s, late 20s, and you obviously all know what the state of that whole Eurasian area was like. So, really unique thing about this aspect is that, you know, religion, no, that was kind of banned away in communism, but this composer took the Hail Mary followers, Lord, receive the Roman Catholicism traditional prayer, and you put this in a Russian text, so you could say it's political in a few ways. They love this song. Yeah, okay. You probably will be not singing it, but it'll be going through your brain on your way home tonight. The last piece, I know I talked a lot in this segment, but there's so many pieces here that just absolutely need their recognition. Joseph M. Martin is similar to in style for Z. Randall Shroop, but he's a much more I want to say technically easier singer. His scale is not so large in scope for the multiple voices and all that, but this piece known as The Awaken, you probably read it in your program notes, but I just want to reiterate that Joseph M. Martin challenges its performers and its listeners to this song to really think of a world without music. You know, there's a lot of things we take for granted in this world, and one of those things is music, whether it's a bird chirping in the morning, the coffee pot, that really gets our day going at 6:50 a.m., or our dog barking with another animal across the street, just music for music's sake, and allowing that our ability to hear and create it is a truly remarkable gift that we have. So it begins talking about that dream. The beginning text says, I dreamed a dream a dream of a land not far away where no birds sang, no steeples rang, no teardrops, and teardrops felt like rain. This world literally without any form of music. And then as we kind of experience this musical journey together, it gets much more joyful in this presence that, yes, we do really have this profound gift, this X factor in our humanity that really kind of turns us, individually and collectively as a special. So Joseph M. Martin's The Awakening. We probably should have left the concert with that one, but I promise you there's one more that's even better. I actually intended not to do this piece at all in this concert, but as I heard it and looked at it, continuously, this was just a piece where if I just suddenly passed away dead, and I didn't have this song being performed, I would regret it for all eternity. The title is called Requiem. A Requiem is a piece traditionally done for something of a drastic, tragic event. Most common requiems are like Mozart, Bach kind of wrote one. Who else wrote one? I'm blanking out here, sorry, it's Monday, brain's gone. But this Requiem here, we actually had a very unique assignment to which I assigned them. Some of you probably heard, and I've actually asked them, for an experiment to get in touch with their inner feelings, is to write a eulogy for someone. Now, the most interesting thing happened, that when I looked at their writing and I saw who it was from, that their whole person was transformed. The simple fact is that, love and joy in combination are the most powerful human emotions that we experience. The second one is anything with sorrow, and I don't just mean sadness like, oh, the Packers lost. At least it wasn't to the Bears, woo! But that sorrow, this deep sense of burden that as soon as you hear that someone has passed away that was very close to you is an extreme burden. You feel as if all the weight of not just the world, but everything in this dimension next, this universe, multiverse, whatever it is, just literally starts cramming on you. So a lot of things that the students wrote about when they talked about this person, and I just told them it could be anyone who has actually passed away or just in an imaginary, what-if scenario, that a lot of things that we talked about is that they were always reliable, that they were always that second set of ears to always listen to their problems and help resolve them, that they were always there to always showcase their support in left, right, up, down, right, wrong, good or bad, and the power that they've really felt this, and it's kind of hard to explain because you didn't see us in our rehearsal process, but as we continue to morph on our feelings and expose ourselves, kind of take off that really big chunk of armor that we all like to wear and not really expose ourselves to those weaknesses, that was truly a very transformative experience for the students and myself. Just to let you know, on the back of the program, our upcoming events, we have our spring musical, which is the production Oliver. We have some band festivals and a band concert. We have the State Solo Ensemble at University of Wisconsin-Stevens Point in May. We have our onstage production, and then our spring awards concert. So the program will actually close with everyone, as you can see, in the choir department singing this wonderful title called Requiem by Craig Hella Johnson.